everybody. Welcome back once again to the Crew First Culture Podcast. This is Jeremy. Thank you again so very much for spending some time with me today. If you're a listener that has been around for a little while, thank you very much for that. And if you're a first-time listener, I appreciate your time and welcome. I hope that you get something out of this and come back for more. But I am now on my way home from the Revolutionary Fire Tactics at the Lake Conference, which once again was a great time. Really great conference. I always enjoy being there. That's my third year there, I believe. Been there the past 3 years, and I just always leave excited and inspired and thankful for everything that I gained from it. So it was a good time. So what I want to talk about today is something that I heard in my class that I presented. I heard several times in either other classes that I was sitting in or just in general talk. But it's something that we all hear all the time. Anytime we're at conferences, or anytime we're at especially outside training or whatever. And it's probably something that odds are we've all said ourselves. And that is, the people that need to hear this stuff aren't here to hear it. And like I said, it was brought up in my class, and I get it. I totally understand. I totally agree. I have been somebody who has said that. I don't say that anymore though, and I just like to share why I don't say that anymore, and why, or not why, but what I try to share with those that do say it. And so, like we talked about in class when it was brought up, again, I do understand that. I'm not arguing that point, but what I will say is this, and it's a couple things. But so for one, if they were there, if those people that whoever, because every time that's said, somebody pops in your head. Maybe lots of somebodies, but probably there is at least one face that pops in your head when somebody says that, when I just said it. But so say that they are there. Is that going to change anything? They are who they are right now, and if it's somebody that you feel strongly needs some of those messages that are being shared at conferences and other things like that, chances are those are people that are they're set in their ways, or they're very comfortable being where they're at, or they are dug in and not willing to change. I say that because if that's how strongly you feel about them, you probably kind of butted heads with them some. You've probably tried to, or at least I hope you have, because first of all, we can't gripe about somebody else's opinions, else's lack of knowledge, somebody else's vision, somebody else's anything, if we don't have a conversation with them to, for one, just figure out what's the angle, what are they thinking, why are they thinking this, and for two, maybe having a conversation to help educate them or to help see another side to it. But anyway, so if that's the case, that's kind of the mentality of these people that we're referring to, then why does it matter? Why does it matter if they are in that room, if they're probably going to react to it just like they react to anybody else that's brought up, a change of mindset, a change of tactics, a change of whatever. I'm not going to say, there's no chance that it's going to change anything. Obviously, I'm not going to say that. But I just don't feel like that's really going to make that big of a difference if it's the caliber of dug-in people that we're talking about when we say that the people that need to hear this aren't here to hear it. I just don't think that it's really not even feasible to want to put people in those positions if they're not going to hear what's being said. And so that's kind of the first viewpoint. The second viewpoint is, and I told him, honestly, I disagree with that. I believe that the people that need to be here and hear this stuff, and I wasn't just talking about my class, I was referring to the entire conference. The people that need to be there and the people that need to hear it are the ones in there. They're the ones that spent their time away from their family or away from their job. They spent, a lot of them I'm sure spent their money to be there. I'm sure every one of them, including myself, had other things that they could have very easily spent time on this weekend. But they chose to be there because they wanted to grow and to learn and to absorb whatever it was out there that the instructors were bringing. And so, to me, that's exactly who I want to hear that stuff. Just kind of speaking personally from the viewpoint of me as an instructor, I don't want people in that class that are just looking for the little loopholes here and there to prove why what I'm saying is not going to work, or it's just bull crap, or whatever. If they're in there to just try to figure out ways to prove it wrong, or to blow holes in it, or to have a negative attitude about it, I don't care to have them sit in my class. I want the people in there that are truly wanting to be involved, to be engaged, to want to go into those classes for the purposes of leaving with something, leaving with takeaways that they can do something with themselves. And so for me, that's kind of the answer to that question. I do feel like the right people were there. And maybe there are others who need, some of the lessons that were taught this weekend and every weekend across America somewhere. But at the end of the day, we cannot control anything beyond the scope of what we have control over, and the choices and the opinions of others is far beyond that scope. It has nothing to do with anything we can control. And so I feel like that statement is just really almost it almost takes away from the people that are there. It takes away some of the, and I haven't even thought about this really until I'm talking about it, so I don't even know kind of what words to use, but it takes away some of the importance of what they're there to accomplish. They're there to make their crew better, to make their department better, to make the fire service better. That's what they're there for. Those are the doers, the people that are making things happen, the people that are making a difference. And that's exactly the people that we need to keep engaged. We need to keep fresh and charged up and ready to go. That's who we need. That's who we want to be at those conferences. Not just people that are there because their apartment makes them. Not just people who are there because, they are on so-and-so committee and this is something that they had to do. Whatever it is. We need the people with pure intentions. The people that are wanting to make a difference there. And that is what I enjoy so much. I believe David Woodward, the one that runs it, I think he said there was around 220, 240 as far as students, which is down, a little bit from what they've had, but at the same time, it's great. It's great because it's a lot of people, just feeding off of each other and learning and growing and just networking. And it's amazing to me that every time I've gone to a conference, no matter where it is, I've always left with at least one contact. And I'll say at least, way more than that, but at least somebody that I didn't really either know before that, or I didn't really talk to before that. And now I've got another person in my, in my contacts that I can contact for certain things. Everybody's got their little niche. Everybody's got their interest in the things that they're really good at. And every time I go to these, my little, pride of friends and family grows, and the ability to do good things grows every single time, because I'm just adding great people. And so it's great. If you have not been to anything outside of your apartment, I can't challenge you enough. I can't say how important it is enough to get out and experience that. It will blow your mind, I promise you. And so, that it kind of leads into something else, that kind of mindset of what I'm trying to almost break the people of. Not that they're bad people for saying that, but it's just not a mindset that it does us any good. But another person brought up, if they've got decision makers in their department that just will not get kind of trying to figure out a way to describe this. They have decision makers that aren't on board with anything changing. They're not open-minded at all to new equipment, new techniques, outside people coming in and teaching, any of that stuff. And I've experienced a lot of that myself. And just expressing the frustration because of that, and trying to ask for some ideas of how to help with that, and how to overcome it, and how to fix it, and whatever. And as he was talking, several others kind of mentioned similar situations, and it kind of goes back to the same thing. I understand, I truly do. I especially this, because I have lived that. I have lived that frustration. I have allowed similar frustrations to literally ruin entire shifts, or several shifts, just because I get frustrated, I get mad, probably throw a little fit like a baby because of closed-mindedness and things like that. And I finally had to figure out that, again, I have no control over that. I have no control over what those people choose to do. I have no control over what those people choose to, put as priorities for us in the department, or us as a crew, or how they approach leadership and development, and on and on and on. I have nothing that I can do outside of just offering my advice and my opinions and leaving it there. Because once it leaves my mouth, it is free to come and go right through their ears and possibly never thought of again. And I have to be okay with that. I have to be at peace with that. What I can do is I can focus on my small circle. And that's what I've had to constantly refocus myself on. Because I've got an issue with getting excited about something, get passionate about something, and then what's the first thing you want to do when you get excited and passionate about something? Well, you want to share it with as many people as you can. You want to make a difference at as big of a scale as you can. And so I start sending stuff up the chain, and I start trying to make a difference in my entire department. And then I start, getting frustrated, and start getting resentful, and start getting angry. And then I have to help myself realize that you've done all you could. You have spoken up. You have given advice. You have offered resources or suggestions. You have offered your help. And that's all you can do. Well, I've heard several times lately kind of different versions of this, but basically what the statement was saying is sometimes the effort has to be enough. Sometimes we can't affect the outcome. It's not in the cards. It's not the way our path is going. It's not the right door. It's not the right time. It's not the right whatever. All I can do is give the effort. And if that's the case, and I do give the effort, and I try to make a difference, and I plant seeds, then it's out of my hands. It's not my job to make sure those seeds land where they're supposed to, and make sure those seeds grow at the proper time and at the proper, place in these people's lives. That's not my job. That's God's job. All I can do is plant seeds. All I am supposed to do is plant seeds. Spread my message, share my story, pursue my purpose. We've all got to do a better job of planting seeds, and just have faith that at some point, somewhere, sometime, those seeds are going to make a difference in somebody's life. The right person at the right time is going to hear it, or is going to be impacted by it in whatever way. And that's the reason we're here. And so I'll just say it again to kind of wrap up things. Don't focus on what others are doing or what others aren't doing. Don't focus on how frustrating it is that some people just don't get it. They take the job for granted. They are here for a paycheck, or here for the clout that being a firefighter is going to give you, whatever that is. They're here for reasons that do not define the purpose that we serve as firefighters. But we cannot let that affect us. It is disturbing. It is sad. But I will say this, because of some life situations that I have been through over the years, there have been times where I've been that firefighter. I've been that checked out firefighter. And it wasn't because I didn't care about the job. It wasn't because I didn't know what I was responsible for. It was because life at home was sucking the energy and really the life out of me. I didn't have anything to give. I didn't have anything in me to be the firefighter that I should have been. So am I making an excuse? No, absolutely not. That doesn't matter. I still have a job to do. If I show up and work, I should have been ready to go to work. I should have been preparing myself, but I didn't. And so the reason I bring that up is I know who I am now. I know who I have been through most of my career. I know who I have been at certain times in my career. That is somebody that I am, to be quite honest, somebody I'm ashamed of, embarrassed of. But I also know that somebody took the time to invest in me because they saw more in me that they knew I could be giving. They saw something in me that they knew with just some help, with just some time, with just some attention, they could pull out with just some opportunities. And so for all of those people that spent the time on me, that invested their energy, their love, their everything in me, I thank you, and I will never be able to repay that, ever. I know that you are just part of God's plan. You are part of my plan that God has for me. But still, being a part of God's plan does not mean that you have to participate. God's got a plan for all of us. But there's a lot of us standing on the sidelines just kind of watching the train go by. Maybe the next one I'll jump on. Or maybe not. So thank you for that. And anybody else out there that's listening, there are people out there that need you. They need your story. They need your presence. They need your experience. They need your love. So keep your eyes open. Start looking for these opportunities, because I promise you they're there. Don't just think that if it's a big enough opportunity, I'll realize it. Some of these tiny little unsuspecting opportunities can lead to amazing, amazing things, as I've talked about before with my own life. So pay attention. Have a great attitude. Focus on what you can control. And leave the rest to God. And enjoy what you have. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your home. Enjoy your crew and your department. Because that's what we have. So why wouldn't we want to enjoy it? Why wouldn't we want to take advantage of it? Well, Jonah Smith, a good friend from Charlotte, he said something in some of the opening remarks this weekend. He was talking about the firefighter that lost his life in South Carolina, and had a quote from him that we've probably all said, but he attributed it to him specifically, that if you're not having fun in this job, you're doing it wrong. And there's not another quote out there that I couldn't agree with more. And there's a lot of people out there doing it wrong. I've done it wrong for a lot of the 21 years I've been doing it. And I hope to change that. But anyway, I don't want to keep you anymore. I thank you so very much for your time. I hope that I said something that maybe makes a difference in some way, in some tiny way, whatever it is. So until next time, I hope you have a great day and a great week. And as always, stay humble,